Well, good morning, Stan and Lori. Yeah, this morning we're just dealing with patchy fog across the inland northwest. I think that is going to be a trend as we go through the rest of our morning. Good. It does continue, Stan, at least for folks especially north of Spokane and Ferry as well as Stevens County, where they're still seeing several hundred lightning strikes just within the last hour. Now, this is a little bit of a calmer sight than what we saw, say, about 5 or 6 o'clock earlier this morning. What was that technical term Laura just used? Feel free to use it. Yeah, temperatures dropping dramatically. And this morning, look at this, very gusty conditions across the inland northwest. Right now, Ephrata is at 91 degrees and climbing. Of course, that's the bad news for this red flag warning, which is in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. You factor in some very low humidity in the teens, gusty winds, and then any rapid fire spread in existing areas or new fire areas is definitely a concern. So we're watching that for the shaded area in orange right now, especially in the upper Columbia Basin. Instead of Laura, Jen, I have this app. I have it on my phone. On mornings like today where I come in and 2 of my computers have crashed, likely because of some of the systems outside. Strikes, yeah. This is a really nice. We're getting hits all morning. Yeah. Put that in your toolbox. You can kind of pinpoint exactly what's going on in your area. This is basically going to be your best resource out there. A scraper, if you're out there and getting on the roads this morning, you will need that because of some widespread frost and occasionally very heavy downpours. The National Weather Service is actually coining it torrential rain in some spots. Temperatures very mild headed out the door. Lots of 50s. We should be in the 30s waking up. So very warm start for a lot of us, and our highs as well very mild. But what's happening is that it's essentially pushing up all of that instability to our north. So that instability is right now north in through Canada, keeping away some of those additional clouds and thunderstorms. Later this afternoon, this is seasonal. Get excited. Mostly cloudy conditions. And finally, it looks like day 2 of our seasonal temperatures should be continuing. It is sticking in some areas across the inland northwest. Here's the deal, though. It's kind of powdery. This is my attempt at a snowman. I didn't get very far. It's kind of powdery. We're going to check more on this later. In the meantime, let's take a quick peek at your 10-day forecast. Exactly. And increased fire danger across the area, Stan, as we start things off on a Monday. Boy, it's been a beautiful start, though. Regardless, a lot of folks enjoying Lake Coeur d'Alene. These storms are moving in that direction at about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And you can see the kind of the progression of these storms. Well, they're expected to hit St. Joe at about 6:37 this morning. And the one just up north in Spokane moving at about 30 miles as well, up towards Northport at 6:03.
Today's pretty quiet.
Today is kind of, well, now you've just jinxed it, Laura. So thank you very much. Now we can see just about anything. But yeah, we're waking up to some kind of mild conditions, but very chilly out there. And if you just pinpoint it within the last 1 hour, over 2,300 lightning strikes. And the entire time I've been here in Spokane, this is the most amount I have ever seen in a 1 hour period. So a lot of that activity up towards Ferry and Stevens County. I want to talk about what we are seeing and what we're not seeing. There's 2 things here. Some folks are seeing a little bit of scattered drizzle, but most folks do remain predominantly dry as we go into our Monday afternoon. It really is all kind of location this morning, because some of us waking up to beautiful conditions. In fact, look at this. Some blue sky out there across the Spokane area, but we are starting to see some of those clouds develop. I think for the most part, at least as of right now, these storms are going to continue to track up towards the north and south of the Spokane area. Here's Lightning Tracker, and within the last hour, we've seen upwards of over 700 lightning strikes just since about 4:21 this morning, so 1 hour ago. The big talker today is saying goodbye to our warmer weather. That's sayonara. Now we're going to start to see seasonal temperatures and then dropping to below average. I'm talking about 30s as we head in towards this upcoming weekend. Here's the grass. Let's just show you some of this accumulation. We'll just stick it right down. About just a little over 2 inches. And I want to tell you, at the Spokane International Airport, since all of this started, we have had 2.8 inches of snow so far. Now, in terms of Northport, Kettle Falls, you guys saw this system pass through, but are now also looking at that materialize just east of Northport and also northeast of Chewelah. So we are keeping a close eye on those northeast mountains, as that is where most of our activity is expected. In fact, it's triggered this red flag warning for some frequent thunderstorms and abundant lightning. Now you combine that with our dry fuels, erratic winds near these storms, and that could lead to potential potential fire starters. This is in effect for the next 2 hours. Some folks, and I think this is isolated, could see as much as 5 to 6 inches. So we're watching that, and really some chilly temperatures kick-starting. Bonners Ferry really blowing everyone else out of the water, 16 degrees. Good Monday morning. It is 5:40 right now. We are taking a live look outside around Spokane. Boy, you can see the snow as we take a look at those street lights, and boy, really kind of impacting commuters as folks heading out on the roads. There's a shot of the roads, and you can see a lot of that snow continues to accumulate, and we're talking about a real slick commute as you head out there. Some folks already braving those roads. One of those reminders that eventually a lot of folks will be lining up to get those snow tires put on. All right, let's talk about what we're seeing today. Our headlines today, here's the deal. We're talking about morning snow, in fact, widespread morning snow as we go through the day. And our heaviest snow kind of expected basically right now as you go through the morning, our early morning commute. Now the snow should turn into rain showers as we roll into the afternoon. And then as we look towards the next couple of days, talking about a little bit drier conditions and warmer temperatures closer to seasonal. So watching that. As far as what we're seeing right now on our satellite radar, here's kind of the deal. You can see kind of that white indicating where we're seeing that snow. All of this continuing to push off towards the east, so most of this should be entering towards the North Idaho Panhandle as we roll through the afternoon, but not everyone's seeing scattered snow. Some folks seeing the rain. Let's talk about the snow first. You can see it really heavy overhead over Spokane. Pend Oreille kind of getting that outer skirts of it, kind of that lighter snow. Osborne as well, but then as we go down towards the south, we're talking about Moses Lake, talking about folks in Othello, Dayton, Kennewick, starting to see most of that rainy, wet weather, not quite yet in that terms of sort of that snow precipitation. A lot of that factor because of slightly warmer temperatures. In the meantime, we are continuing to see this winter weather advisory until 4 p.m. today. Now, here's kind of the breakdown, what I want to show you. Valley snow, we could see 2 to 4 inches today. Mountain snow, 3 to 5 inches. Keep in mind, most of this will be in the morning hours because a lot of this should be turning into rain as we roll through the afternoon. Okay, let's track it all, what we're expecting. Here's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're talking about Moses Lake, Spokane. Most of this scattered snow weather looks like it's going to be in northeast Washington as well as North Idaho, but let's play it out in motion. You can see a lot of this continues to move off to the east as we roll through the day. There's lunchtime, and then as we go into the later afternoon hours, check out how most of this turning into rain in eastern Washington, kind of that mix of rain snow as we go through the day with drier conditions expected as we go into Tuesday and for our Wednesday. Something to look forward to there. In the meantime, temperatures still kind of chilly out there. 31 for Spokane, 30 for folks in Coeur d'Alene. As we warm up towards the afternoon, most of our snow should turn into some scattered rainfall. So morning snow, but afternoon rain like we were just talking about. Highs in the mid-30s, 50 for Seattle, 52 for the Rose City. Tri-Cities, you're at 46, kind of that mix of both rain and snow today. 35 for Spokane, 34 for folks in Coeur d'Alene. Look at the extended forecast here. I want to show you this. Warming up, if you can call it warming up, guys, to the 40s as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and that is closer towards seasonal weather. Good Friday morning, 6:12 right now, taking a live look downtown. There's the courthouse we see kind of lit up. Always nice to see that, especially as we kind of close out a work week with that sunrise not quite yet up, pop up over the horizon. Either way, today looking at a pretty nice day on tap for us. Kind of a repeat of some things, though, that we saw yesterday. Now, one thing we're going to see again, low clouds, check, fog, check. Now, some isolated sprinkles, factor that in as well, and we're going to be seeing a few areas a little bit wet, some areas a little bit drier, but either way, Saturday and Sunday in through this upcoming weekend, looking at that wetter weather pattern with the chance of some rain and snow mix coming towards our next forecast, so in the next week or so. Satellite radar showing you most of extreme eastern Washington dry. Same thing for North Idaho. Now, as you go south, I'm talking about south of 90, picking up a little bit in terms of precipitation, but not a whole lot of activity. Now, here's something interesting I want to show you here. It's kind of a progressive wet weekend weather pattern. It is going to bring some widespread weekend rain, and here's why. We have this kind of closed low off the coast of California that is pushing up moisture towards our neck of the woods. Then we have kind of this aggressive trough off the northwest coast. Combine both of those, and we're looking at that wet weather for Saturday and for Sunday. So look for a chance of some weekend rain. Now, here's Future Tracker. I'll kind of prove it to you. Here's about midnight Saturday. We're looking at that chance, kind of the Okanagan Highlands getting that mix of maybe some rain snow mix. And then look at this, widespread showers as we go into our Saturday afternoon. Sunday as well, looking at that chance of rain. Now, temperatures about 34 degrees for Spokane, 35 for Newport, 34 St. Mary's. Most of us will be warming up to seasonal temperatures. Here's the deal. I've been crunching some numbers here. Warmer temperatures returning. So that second week of November, unseasonably cool. Now, yesterday we had our first normal seasonal day in the last 7 days. Finally seeing those mild temperatures, and today I think should be a repeat of that. So looking at a lot of those low 40s continuing across the region. 42 for Davenport, 43 for Grand Coulee, mostly cloudy. Those seasonal temperatures are returning. A little bit warmer on the west side. 50 for Seattle, 54 for the Rose City. Tri-City is looking at about 46 degrees. And here at Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, about 43 degrees. That's seasonal. That's right on par with what we should be at. And looking at those 40s, finally, I know, continuing as we head into this upcoming next work week. And the wetter weather stand means, yeah, we're going to be seeing more in the terms of snow in the forecast horizon not far from now. Good Thursday morning. We are taking a live look downtown outside the federal courthouse, where you can see the winds not terribly bad, but a little bit breezy out there. Just checking wind speeds. It's about 7 miles an hour downtown. I think that's about all we're going to see today, is about 5 to 10. But either way, kind of a nice shot of Old Glory as we get our morning underway. Here's the deal today. Weather in one word: foggy. That's what we're going to see as we wake up, as we head out the door. Combine that with some low clouds, even a few areas of drizzle. But really, we're starting off kind of mild today, and that should be the case as we roll through the afternoon. A little bit of clearing expected towards the east. I'm talking about the Idaho Panhandle. Expect that later this afternoon, but the rain returns a little sooner than first expected. Now looking at Friday afternoon with our first next chance of showers and weekend rain. Yeah, we could see that in the valleys, as well as some upper elevation mountain snow. All right, this is a 3-hour loop. Nothing's going on. I did put it in play. It doesn't look like anything's happening, but there is just a little bit of low clouds. Otherwise, we're not seeing a lot of moisture. We go to this sort of Pacific Northwest view, same thing. We're kind of in the sweet spot right now for Washington, Oregon, Idaho, looking pretty good. And here's kind of what I want to show you. We're looking at our East Pacific satellite. So we've got storms to the north of us as well as to the south of us. So off the coast of California as well as towards north British Columbia. But we're sitting on this weak sort of ridge of high pressure that's going to keep us mostly dry as we head into at least the next day and a half or so. I'm thinking by Friday we could see this change, and I'll prove it to you. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning using Future Tracker, looking at a few clouds. Yeah, that should continue. Some clearing as we go through the afternoon. There's 10 p.m. still looking dry for our Thursday. And here's one more shot I want to show you right here. Friday in through Saturday, looking at that chance of scattered showers. Early Saturday, I think we're going to continue to see the rains going into this upcoming weekend. Now, temperatures pretty chilly as you're heading out the door. 34 for Spokane, 29 degrees for Newport. Highs today, again, another day below seasonal averages. 37 for Davenport, 42 for Grand Coulee. We're starting out with some fog. Going to be looking at another cool day as well. Now, over on the west side of the state, 55 degrees for the Rose City, 46 degrees for the Tri-Cities. Some few areas of drizzle, but most of us looking dry. 39 degrees for Spokane. In the next couple of days, talking about the drier weather continuing at least through this afternoon and the start of our Friday, but the rain returns with a vengeance. Sten and Laura, we are looking at the showers, a chance of them for Saturday and Sunday. So still a chance. We might have a few dry spots, but then Monday through the start of the next work week, just get used to the wetter weather pattern, because that's what we're going to see, and we are going to quickly see snow moving back to the forecast horizon as well.